a good one today. Pretty much a staple in my family for the last quarter of the 20th century when I was born, right up until today. We still eat it, though called by a different name. Growing up, we ate shepherd's pie all the time. And little did I know, was it really shepherd's pie? My mom always made it with beef. Not till about 3 years ago, I learned that that's actually a cottage pie. A shepherd's pie is made with lamb. Cottage pie is made with beef. Today we're doing a stalker's pie. Now I haven't heard this term anywhere else. The first and only place I've ever seen it. I'm not sure if it exists in other places or if someone else come up with it. We're using venison. So Scott Ree is the name of the channel where I seen it. He's a UK guy. Awesome channel. He's got a huge following, and he certainly doesn't need a shout out from a peasant like me. So his channel is a lot of butchering. He's a master butcher, been doing it for almost 30 years. Very, very good at it. Excuse me. And he does a lot of cooking as well, and I really enjoy his channel. I've been watching him for a few years now. So he has a buddy of his that's kind of a gamekeeper. He calls him his game guru. So I imagine that's where he came up with the term stalker. All of us hunters that go out there are us huntsmen, us stalkers, and things like that. I haven't found much in my research for even shepherd's pie. It didn't really come onto the scene until the mid-19th century almost, and then from the little I read, it kind of died out in the 20th century. But again, I've been eating it all along, and I'm up over the big mark. It's all downhill now, right? Plus 40. So I'm not sure if any of that's true. Again, I haven't been able to find any recipes from the 18th century. So we're going to wing it here today. I'm going to mix and match some things I've learned, different recipes, kind of put them together. But we're going to cook it in an 18th century style manner in our bake kettle. So stick around. So again, we've got this is about a pound and a half of diced venison that we used from the leftovers, again, which they would have done back in the day, from our steaks fried in ale video. So we've got a good bit there. We've got some of that brown gravy with it. So we're going to use all of that, get it in our pie pan here. And this venison barely made it to this pie plate, if I'm being honest. Chef perks. So good. And now, just because it would be rude not to, we got that brown gravy in there, so I don't want it to be too wet, but I am going to add a little bit of Worcester sauce. So, and again, there's tons of different recipes. People do it even to this day a bunch of different ways. The way my mom always made it was ground beef or burger, a layer of corn, and then mashed potatoes. So keeping with tradition here, we'll add some corn. And that out just a bit. We're going to add peas as well. Something my mom didn't do, but still good. Then we're going to add our mash to the top of that. And I've added, just because I boiled carrots with the potatoes, I just kept it in there and mashed it all together. Let's see if that's too much or not. Yeah. All in. Now I have some spices here, just some salt and pepper. I do have some nutmeg, so I'm just gonna sprinkle that on lightly, not too much of that. I don't know if this would have been used, but it was the 18th century, so must have been. Then, that same imported English cheddar cheese, I'm going to add that to the top as well, just to kick it up a notch. So now we'll add this to our bake kettle, and everything's cooked. You know, we just want to melt the cheese. We want to warm everything through, possibly crisp up that potato, and the nook is all around the bottom here. Trying to get some, but we're going to save that salt and pepper for when we're done. So let's get our trivet in the bake kettle and get going. So again, we've got coals under it, but not too many because I don't want this to get too hot. Here's our trivet we'll place in there. Our Stalker's pie. Perfect. Now I'm going to put more coals on the top, again just to try and crisp that up, and I'll cook it more from the top. Shovel here. And so we'll start with that. If I need to add more, I've got plenty. But again, I don't want to get too hot on the bottom. That's the little I have down there is just creating heat. I want more heat up top to try to crisp up that potato and melt that cheese. So it's smelling phenomenal in here. I'm not sure quite how long it's been going. I've checked it a couple times. I've added more coals twice. So I think we're pretty good. Let's have a look. Oh yeah. Not really as brown as I thought I could get it, but see if I can get that out of there without burning myself. Don't mind the 18th century knot pot holders. Can't find my gloves at the moment. Do this without burning myself. That's hot, that's hot, that's hot. So that looks amazing. So we're definitely gonna let that cool down a little bit, and we're gonna tuck in. Alright, I've waited long enough. Probably still quite hot, but I'm gonna give it a go. Definitely loose because of that brown gravy, but smells so good. Like I said, a little bit of salt and pepper. That's how I roll. Get a horn spoon, pretty cool. Comes the little bleeder. And look, what's up, buddy? Can I get a bite first? Do you mind? Unbelievable. That's really good. And again, different than what we're used to. Back in the day, 18th century, right? They would have ate their meats cold for the most part, other than in the morning. That first meal would have been hot, unless they reheated something for dinner, but most of the meats were eaten cold, at least from what I read. So it was not out of the norm to take, just like we did with that steak fried in ale, and reuse it for another dish. So it was cold, obviously, leftovers, and we turned it into something else. And that was pretty common practice in the 18th century, to reuse things. So they would take, you know, the meat out of some type of pasty and reuse it, make it into a stew, and things of that nature. So again, that's what we did here. So not ground, but we took a steak, cubed it up, and made this Stalker's pie, and it's phenomenal. You want a bite? Come here. Come here, you little bleeder. Come here. Easy. Good boy. That's good shit, huh? Shake. 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 No? You don't want to do it? And that cheese just takes it over the edge. So thank you guys for joining me for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. The Nook certainly does. And we'll catch you on the next one. Take care. What's up, bro?
Real version. And I found him sweet as that, Tom.
Whose turn? Nook.
Wow.
Right, sit. Good sit. Good sit.